Hello everybody, welcome to NIOS Made Easy. Today we are studying chapter 2 from painting. This is for the secondary board. The chapter is History and Appreciation of Art from the 7th century AD to the 12th century AD. In the last chapter, we studied history and appreciation of art from 3000 BC to the 6th century AD. 3000 BC dated back to the Harappan civilization. In this chapter, we are coming much closer and studying artifacts in this time range. Just like in the past chapter, this chapter also can be divided into two logical components. We are going to study the artifacts and we are also going to study the art history around these artifacts. So the three artifacts we are going to study in this chapter are: one is Arjuna's penance, which is also called as Ganga Vatarana. Then we have Krishna supporting Mount Govardhana, and then we have the Surasundari from Konark. Let us look at this one by one. Arjuna's penance, also called as Ganga Vatarana, was created during the Pallava period around the 7th century AD. It's quite big. It measures from 91 feet to 152 feet in size. It is in Mamallapuram. The current name for Mamallapuram is Mahabalipuram, which is near Chennai. This sculpture is it is on two big boulders. This is called as the relief. The relief is on two big boulders. Relief is basically a technique in sculpture where the elements that are sculpted are attached to the background. That is, the sculpture and the background, they are of the same material. It is done on the same material. We find a cleft between the two boulders. That is, we can see that these two big boulders are divided in the center. It consists of life-size human and animal figures. Human figures include gods, demigods, sages, etc. And the sages here are shown to be meditating. Towards the end of this sculpture, we find a male figure, which we think is Arjuna, and he seems to be in a posture of meditation. Hence the name Ganga Vatarana or Arjuna's penance. There are a couple of animals also on this sculpture, and they include an elephant which is like sleeping. We have life-size elephants as well. We have monkeys, we have deer, etc. All these figures have some softness in them. They're all treated with some kind of softness, and there is roundness to the whole sculpture in itself. Just like in the last chapter, in this chapter also, the points that are essential for the examination are organized in the form of bullet points, which makes it easier to revise and recall. Moving on, the next artifact is Krishna supporting Mount Govardhana. This is in a temple in Belur, which was created during the Hoysala period. This sculpture is 3 feet in height. The Hoysala sculptures show that they have deep carving and undercutting. The designs are very intricate. The bodies show soft rhythms on the contours. They are delicate and they are intricate designs. This Krishna sculpture that we see here is one of the best examples of the delicate and the intricate Hoysala carving. This is the incident where Krishna is carrying Mount Govardhana with his hands, and this whole incident is shown in layers. Krishna is the central figure. Surrounded by him are the humans from that village and the cattle. All these are shown in different layers. Krishna, the people around him, the animals, they are shown with elaborate jewelries. They are wearing necklaces and other jewelry. They have a typical Indian hairstyle, which shows the mastery of the artist. This is again one composition which is typical of the Hoysala period architecture. Moving on is Surasundari from Konark. This is in the Sun Temple in Konark in Orissa. Surasundari is a life-size sculpture. This temple was created by Narasimha the first, and he belonged to the Ganga dynasty. Surasundari here is shown with a drum. Just like all the other sculptures done during this time, she has a broad big face with a smile. The sculpture shows rhythmic actions. There is a slight tilt to the head and the sculpture looks very graceful. She is again shown to be wearing ornaments, which shows the mastery of the artist. And again, the bends, the curves of the body of this sculpture are rhythmic. This chapter will be continued in the next video, where we'll see the terminal exercise questions and those questions that have come in the previous year question papers. Thank you for watching.